Hey guys, welcome back to Beast Quest, Series 7, Book 3, Krestor, the Crushing Terror. This has got to be the best book of Series 7 so far for me. And to be honest, that was not really much of a challenge so far because Convol was the introduction and Helion was pretty much garbage to me. But you can see my reviews on those books if you want to. But this is about Krestor, so let's go. Tom and friends have beaten Helion, but Storm has gotten hurt on his mane. Helena heals him with some herbs and some water, but a plot hole. Again, they're still using Tavania's water. I thought Malva had control of the water. But right here is clearly stated that the beasts are aren't in the areas of Tavania. So they are from this kingdom. But these portals have been like vacuums, sucking them in from spots and taking them somewhere else in Tavania, and it seems would only be able to return if defeated in combat. Anyway, Tom and friends ride off until they encounter an earthquake. Tom and friends escape the tremors along with some forest animals. However, a bunny gets closed into a chasm in a tragic scene. How a little animal dies and how you got to prevent this kind of stuff from happening. It gets worse when Storm is about to go down and tries to stop him from falling, but the lever was hurting her hands. She gave way and Storm fell, which is another great scene in Chapter 2. How Helen doesn't want Storm to go down the chasm, but her hands are ring. It's really making it, and the way I portrayed it was really awesome, so that was good. Chapter 3, Tom uses inner strength to rescue Storm and Eleanor, making a cold compress after night. Tom and friends reach the castle and encounter a sword from left one of Malval's soldiers, which Tom could use as a weapon after his loss of his previous sword against Helion. They approached a boy who would not let them go by. Alright. In Chapter 4, Tom explains they pose no threat. They pay him a gold coin in exchange for keeping an eye on their animals. However, after investigating an infirmary, they discover that they have wanted posters and Malval has placed a bounty on their heads, like back in Naga. So I like the fact that we have a callback to the previous adventures in, was it Gorgonia? It could be Gorgonia where the bounty was. And how it's the third book, I think Naga was the third book, how it does that. And it's purple and it's like a sea creature. Kind of ironic they have all those good callbacks to Naga there, but awesome. People surrounded Tom and Eleanor and they explained Malval's forces were here and put the poster here to find you. And now that they were planning to now that they're here, they're planning to bring them to Malval. But Tom says Malval is a liar, and since Malval isn't the rightful king, of course he agrees. But instead, the men plan to kill them instead. Right. Tom and Eleanor are sent to Lord Osric. Oh, this is one of my favourite scenes in the whole book, probably. Tom and Eleanor are sent to Lord Osric, who was sitting by his wounded son, who was poisoned by one of Malval's soldiers, who was searching for Tom. The Lord hated what Tom had caused, but Eleanor made a similar bargain from previous quests, healing a wounded in exchange for services of any kind. After some hope and some great character from Lord Osric, who I love this character, who I instinctively liked, the more I read, Tom gave his trust to the people and told them the truth about he was on a quest. And even though they already allowed to go free, he told them about the beasts. The son told them an evil source what Tom might be seeking, so they headed out. While Lord Osric wanted the message spread that Tom and friends have full access to their domain, and he wished they luck on their quest. So I really like that chapter of Lord Osric. He's a great character. Tom and friends wonder why Malva didn't use the magic and just catch them, but use his magic and catch them. But Tom knew Malva well enough personally that he'd want to toy around with Tom and friends, then easily capture them, which lowers my expectations I have for Malval, because I pictured him as like the better villain than Velmal, because he wanted to take over the kingdom and rule everything, and that way he was more of a threat. He didn't just threaten Tom, he threatened everyone by doing what he does. But now showing how he does things, the way he plays his cards, it really lowers the demeanor and it makes me go back to Velmal as my favourite villain of the two, so that's my choice in villains. Where am I? Anyway, they eventually passed some stone columns and wondered why some areas that should be giving water weren't. Tom assumed it was something to do with the portals, but eventually they encountered acid, not knowing what was causing it. But they assumed Crestor was near. Silver was led to a nest and sensed something. Tom and Eleanor climbed up to see it was chicks in the nest that survived the acid attack. They assumed the parents died in the acid attack. However, as Tom noticed a mossy boulder, Eleanor whispered, "Crestor is underneath Tom." Turns out Crestor was the boulder, and the fight got underway, revealing the hard camouflage capabilities and the acid attack. Despite the field advantage, Crestor managed to wound Tom, damage his shield, capture Silver in his coils, and make Eleanor run out of arrows. A rock slide happened in the fight, which separated Eleanor and Silver away from the Crestor and Tom. Tom asked her to gather her arrows while he tried to use his sword, but Crestor blasted the tip right off. Tom now had to rely on his own belt powers, the one from Tusk, which gave him the better fighting skill. But this really shows how awesome Crestor is as a beast. He has a field disadvantage, but he still has. Oh yeah, Tom. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he has a field disadvantage, but he still is able to capture. He's very smart how he captures Silver. He does stuff to Tom. He does stuff to Eleanor because Storm's down there. He's able to fend off all three of them at once. So, probably one of the most powerful beasts I've seen, or the one who's smart and cunning, so I like that. He's not like the strongest, but he's like the smart and cunning, so I like that. Tom came up with a plan to defeat Krestor by using his own acid attack against him, and with the help of a rock slide he managed to do it. Finally, Krestor was sent back home. Tom acquired the magic staff for Oridu, and he grew stronger, while it's explained that Malvo grows weaker by every item they gain. Next, they'll be fighting Madara, or whatever. Alright, so next I'll be fighting Madara. I'll call it that for now, until I think of the real name, or the name that I suit for it, back in the next book, for book 4. But that is Krestor, the Crushing Terror. You see why it's my favourite book? All the, there is a few plot holes, but that's stuff I mentioned before. But how awesome the beast fought, how it affected the world, and how awesome that chapter of Lord was. It's easily titled to give its #1 spot as my favourite book in Series 7 so far. Next time, Madara.